Previously, in the daily life of the immortal king.
On your knees, knave. A weakling like you don't deserve to stand in front of the demon emperor.
And he looks over at Wong and he's like,
Oh, you must not have heard me. I said, sit your ass down. Sit the down. Hey, why ain't this shit working?
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
welcome everyone to my humble abode. Grab a drink, make sure it's cold. We're talking about anime, new and old. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my anime lounge. Ladies and gents, welcome back. Because I know what floats y'all's boat. I know what y'all craving to see nowadays. Nowadays, it's all about the next broken OP I'm Him MC. We'll look no further, my compadres, because today we once again cover the one, the only, the immeasurable, the indomitable, the immortal king himself, Wong Ling. That's right, folks, he got another season, and I'm here to talk about it because you all need to learn about your immortal king. And you can also learn about that like button.
Push the goddamn button!
Push the goddamn button!
Go on and give that a press while you grab yourself a seat. And if you're new and find yourself enjoying the video, hit that subscribe button. Join the lounge and enjoy talking anime with fellow watchers. Hit that bell for notifications so you know when the lounge is going to be open again. There's a seat for you. Join us, chill with us, laugh with us. Oh, and also the copyrights are very strong with this show, so I won't be able to show a lot of footage. So bear with me in this fancy anime PowerPoint you're about to see. Now, let's get into it.
Let me set the stage for you here.
So we've covered some of the earlier seasons, and here's a quick little summary of some of the crazy things we've seen Wong Ling done before. Wong Ling is a reincarnated immortal cultivator that just wants to live a normal school life. He walked out of the delivery room as soon as he was born.
He crawled out of the womb by himself.
He one-shot a demon lord sent to take over his planet as a kid because they made him drop his crispy noodles. He then turned that same demon lord into his pet, created a ball of energy larger than Earth. He created an entirely new timeline in Earth that almost destroyed the original Earth. He sliced through timelines, dimensions, turned his house into a Disney movie by giving life to inanimate objects, edited the graphics of his own show, came to the real world, beat up his art director, and forced him to finish drawing his show, got teleported to the Demon King planet where he meets the Emperor of all demons, bullies him, and then he sighs and destroys the planet. He turned the Divine Dragon into a Yu-Gi-Oh card, and he does all of this without even really trying. His powers and emotions are sealed until he can get better control of them, because as we've seen, if even just a portion of it is released, planets die. So now we are back where he does even crazier shit in this latest season. So here we go.
I'm the man up in this piece. I run shit here. You just live here.
We start off by getting introduced to the concept of the Way of Heaven, which to my understanding as to how they were using it, is just the pinnacle of their power system, at least for the time being. It houses at least 3,000 of the greatest secret arts that are sought after by the cultivators of this world. It is said that understanding just one of these secret arts is enough to make someone invincible. It's like a tier system, and the Way of Heaven is at the very top. More on this later, but just know Wong Ling knows all 3,000 arts of the Way of Heaven. This is important to know now because, as they usually do, they start the seasons off with measuring the power / potential of the students. And every time it was Wong Ling's turn or he's involved, the immediate vicinity almost breaks. It got to the point where they had to take out an insurance policy just for him to participate because something's gonna break, and hopefully it won't be the planet. All you gotta do is step up, put in a little magic, and it'll tell you what your level is currently at this tier system. So, not wanting to take any chances, Wong Ling decides to let his sentient sword take the test for him. And his sword says, I've learned 1% as much of your knowledge of the way of heaven. And with only 1% splits the heavens and calls down God's Excalibur. This was done purposely to show the scope of Wong's power. If this was done by his sword with only 1% of the knowledge that Wong knows, imagine what he would have done. He restores everything and erases everyone's memory of what just happened. This catches the eye of the leader of the Infinite Sword faction, who's currently dying.
I'm dying.
And is looking for an heir to take over. And this is going to be completely vital later. And by the way, just a little fun fact. It's confirmed that Wong Ling is in fact stronger than the actual author of the anime, who is also in his school. So, fun fact. Also, shouts out to the One Punch Man reference. Wong Ling made that Saitama face. So the Infinite Sword faction leader, they calls him the Sword Saint. He shows up to the school wanting to find out who called down God's Excalibur in an attempt to make that person his heir. The Sword Saint has them throwing this weight ball, using their magic to see who here has the output necessary to be the culprit that summoned God's Excalibur. So before throwing, Wong uses the art of gravity manipulation to increase the weight of the ball to keep him from tossing it into space. He finally goes to throw it and... he only throws it 50 meters. Success! The Earth is still whole, no timelines have been affected, and nobody died.
Wrong.
And then we see it. We see what really happened. So, from their perspective on the field, they just see Wong throw the ball and it went 50 meters. Boom. Throw it up and it came right back down to the ground. However, we find out that the ball was thrown so hard that it went completely around the planet.
What? You joking?
So then they show us when he throws the ball. This ball is moving so fast, it starts splitting the skies and the seas and destroying the land. And it even caught a body.
Ooh, you know he did.
It did a full lap around the world and landed 50 meters in front of Wong. And it went by so quick that even the Sword Saint didn't notice that the ball had traveled anywhere except the 50 meters. So that means this ball traveled around the planet in seconds, or possibly even less, to appear to have just been thrown right in front of Wong. Bro threw a ball that was on a speed level of Flash and Superman.
But wait, there's more.
So remember the Way of Heaven? Of course you do. We find out it's a library of secret arts being maintained by these elves who control who is able to gain access to it and are responsible for handling the world's affairs. The elves in this library are kind of like the gods of the world, and we find out that Wong casually just has the entrance to this library in his closet. And when he shows, they all bow to him. The ones who maintain and rule over the very essence of reaching godhood.
The ones who hold the very dreams of every cultivator in the palm of their hands. The ones who those attempt to climb the heavens to reach. Bow
to the immortal king that is Wong Ling.
I run shit here. You just live here.
But while they were busy with Wong, an evil cultivator seized this opportunity and learned the Way of Heaven. He just got lucky that Wong's visit ran parallel to his 7,000 attempt to reach the Way of Heaven. This will come into play way later. All right, it's time for an anime recommendation break. It's a spot in the video where I throw out a random show I've seen that I would recommend for you to check out if it sounds appealing to you. And so this anime recommendation break,
What the
was that?
And so this anime recommendation break is brought to you by Laughing Under the Clouds. A fun little practice I like to do when choosing an anime to watch is to just pull up the screen and just click on any random show that pops up. It breaks me out of the bubble of just watching the same genres, and it has actually helped me find some great gems I never would have given a chance to originally. And Laughing Under the Clouds was one of those pleasant surprises. The story follows the three Kumo brothers who are tasked with delivering criminals to the largest prison in Japan. It takes place during the Meiji era, I hope I said that right, where swords were outlawed and there's a lot of rebellion against it, while there's also the impending doom of a resurgence of the destructive snake spirit Orochi. The first episode didn't leave the best impression for me, to be honest, but then from episode 2 till the end, the story just completely twists and turns in a way you do not expect, and it turned out way better than I thought it would. The dynamic between the brothers is fun, and it does well fleshing out all of the characters and their roles in the story. There's a lot of emotion involved, and it's a quick digestible little 12 episodes, and it's a fun ride. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. So while having a fundraiser, someone decides they want to try and attack the school. He launches a flame barrage from a divine sword. Wong Ling sees this and simply snaps his fingers and turns a fire barrage into fireworks. Then earlier, remember when Wong threw that ball? The dude that got killed by that ball is back for revenge. He comes back with the enemy faction and they bring an army with them. They put all their energy together to put up a force field around the school to protect themselves, but it was never a problem. Why? Because Wong Ling is there. You know this, don't ask questions you already know the answer to. What's that All Might saying? It's fine now because I'm here. That's what Wong Ling is saying. And just with one hand, he completely annihilates. So fast forward a bit, and this high-tier cultivator captures Wong Ling's friend Soon by teleporting her inside of this spiritual space that he created. It's like his own domain, a different dimension, if you will. In this spiritual space that he created, he is God. He is the immortal. In this space, he is king. And then this man, Wong Ling, telepathically reaches out to Soon. He would have shown up directly, but this dude Wong said, if I walk into that space, everything will collapse. Meaning that his presence would kill that space and everything in it. And so he does the next best thing and just gives Soon a little bit of his power so she can fight this guy. Now, I feel comfortable in saying that I have watched a fair share of anime, and this has to be the greatest unintentional flex of power I have ever seen. She gets a bit of his power or spiritual energy, and you see she becomes engulfed in this powerful aura. She's overwhelmed at how strong she feels. Wong Ling's sword says, you will share parts of the spiritual impulses, aka power, in Sword Master's sealed state. Keep in mind that this is part of his energy in his sealed state due to his powers and emotions being sealed to help him keep control over his powers. And so then we play a little fun game of how much power did Wong Ling give to her? Is the correct answer A, 1%?
No.
B, 10%?
No.
C, 0.1%?
No.
Is it D, 0.01%?
No. Nigga.
Well, we find out that he gave her
Survey says
1/10 of a billion of his spiritual impulses.
Oh my God!
1/10 of a billion of his spiritual energy. We learn that in these spiritual spaces, the creator of that space is king, and the person who is trapped inside of that space should be limited in their movements and are unable to even damage the creator of the space. And with just 1/10 of a billion of Wong's spiritual impulses, she is able to do shit like this. She is able to completely ignore the rules of the space, and she out here doing DBZ squabbles, moving so fast that she's cracking the spatial dimensions and completely bullies the dude who's supposed to be the ruler of this space.
Somebody get him off me.
Putting the hands of God on this man. This was a biblical beatdown. I wish I could show y'all more because this fight was animated so beautifully. And then she kicks this dude so hard, she kicked him out of his own spatial dimension. He was hit so hard, he was on the ground talking about who punched me.
But wait, there's more.
So remember earlier when I mentioned the planet that he blew up and the demon lord that he turned into a pet? Of course you do. Well, the planet he blew up was that demon's planet. And he felt bad. So he just made him another one. Then they go to the new planet and we see Wong bring out this Nintendo Wii pad and he just starts editing the planet on his tablet. He was really treating reality like Stage Builder on Super Smash Bros. Remember when I mentioned that evil cultivator that snuck in and learned the way of heaven? Of course you do. I don't even know why I asked you this question. You paid attention. Well, they bring him to the new demon world so that he can fight the Sword Saint, who was his brother, and they were both on their own journeys to learn the way of heaven. And they really start throwing down. They each bring out their own Susanos. They really throwing blows. But then Wong stepped in like, all right, children, that's enough. And he ends it. The evil cultivator got a little disrespectful talking about,
Who the f do you think you are? Trying to tell me what to do. F you and your crispy noodles.
Now why'd you go and say something like that, for, huh?
turned his hand into an infinity gauntlet and just erased magic from his body. But during the battle, the Sword Saint, he used a skill that drains your lifespan, and he was already on the older side, so he was just sitting there accepting that his time was drawing near. But before he dies, he can at least use the last of his energy to fix the damage that they caused to the area. Aww. 500 years. How does 500 years sound? Me and the Sword Saint was confused. Like, what do you mean 500 years? This man pulled out a fucking scroll, pulls up a picture of the Sword Saint, and just increases his lifespan by 500 years. And the wild part isn't even that it has an increase function, but you can also subtract years. So he could really pull up someone's life profile and just erase their entire lifespan if he wanted to, apparently. But hey, controlling lifespans, manipulating reality, manipulating reality like your own sandbox, bestowing the power of a god upon others by giving them 1/10 of a billion of your power is all just another day in the daily life of the immortal king. Well, there it is, folks. I love broken, overpowered main characters. And I feel like nowadays, that's what kind of leads to a lot of hype for any new shows that may drop. And with that in mind, I feel like if this show was Japanese dubbed like your usual anime shows, it would be getting a lot more attention. Especially since they do animate their battles very beautifully, and it is like kind of a comedy. So I suggest you check it out if you haven't. And these are anime only feats too, by the way. So you know they go even crazier in their light novel. Mans is just untouchable when you consider all of that as well. But enough of my talking, y'all heard enough. Now it's y'all's turn. Who are some more insanely OP anime MCs out there that may fly under the radar? Are they as strong as Wong Ling?
Challenge him. Alright?
Let me know down in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. Join the lounge and grab yourself a seat. Share with your friends or anyone who loves anime like us.
Tell your friends about me.
I appreciate you all for watching. Thanks for coming in. And as we always do when we close out, Let's all raise a glass in the air. Here's to anime.
Somebody get him on me.